press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to social science class. We have discussed in the last class, okay, we have come across the first lesson. It is the rise of nationalism in Europe. There are a number of concepts which have been discussed in the last sessions. I hope you have understood. If you have any doubt, please let me ask. I will clarify your doubt. Okay. Next to, which is our country? Our country is India. The rise of nationalism in India. The rise of nationalism in Europe. It was affected on India. It was affected on India. During that time, India was called as colonial country because it was colonized by Britain. It was colonized by Britain. During this time, as a result of rise of nationalism in Europe, in India also the nationalism it was risen in India. In this session, we are going to discuss nationalism in India. This is very easy chapter and you can understand very easily because you have been learning in this chapter in Indian history. In last period we have discussed last sessions, that is modern European history. Because in this session, in this chapter, nationalism in India, it is called as modern Indian history, modern Indian history, modern European history, that is, this is modern Indian history. Modern Indian history, the first lesson of 10th standard, nationalism in India. First, you need to understand what is nationalism. A nationalism which means a feeling of oneness, common consciousness, a feeling of oneness, common consciousness, that is called nationalism. In India, how was nationalism grown up in India? Let us discuss one by one. It is very easy chapter because you have been learning in Indian history from 4th, 5th and 6th standard. Okay. First part is, as we have known, all chapters they have introductory part. Here also we will see introductory part. First one is introductory part. Second point, so it's very easy, only for 4 concepts that you have to learn. It's very easy. We will go very slowly. Don't worry. Let us start the first chapter with introductory part. Next, the First World War, which started from 1914 to ended 1918. Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. Next, differing strands within the movement. Third point is differing strands within the movement. Next, towards civil disobedience movement. It was started by Mahatma Gandhi ji in 1929. Next, the sense of collective belonging. The sense of collective belonging. All these concepts will be learned in this chapter. First, shall discuss introductory part. First, we shall discuss introductory part. I hope you have understood nationalism, which means it is not like the nationalism of Europe. It is a separate nationalism because here we cannot see the oneness, one religion. We cannot see one religion, one language, one geographical area, one administration, as we have seen in the European administration. Here there are different religions, there are different languages, there are different geographical areas. In addition to that, there are different castes. That's why this is the nationalism. It is separated from European nationalism. First, as you have seen, modern nationalism in Europe came to be associated with the formation of nation states. Modern nationalism in Europe, which means came to be associated with the formation of nation states, nationalism, which means nation states. As we discussed in the introductory part of the rise of nationalism in Europe, nation states, how was they formed? They formed through struggles, not a long waging wars like modern states. Modern states, it was formed forged through forged through long waging wars and memorable. But in nation states, it was not formed by forged struggles, forged long waging wars. It was formed forged through struggles, people struggles. Nation states, which means people government, republic government, democratic government. There is a voting system, adult franchise system. It was not like monarchy system. It was not ruled by monarchy. It was not ruled by aristocracy. Nation states. Okay. As we discussed in the last class, German state became nation states. German unification was done. German was unified. Italy was unified and became nation states. France, revolution which happened after France became nation states, and next so many European states became nation states due to the nationalism, the rise of nationalism in Europe, nation states. It also meant a change in people's understanding of who they were and what defined their identity and sense of belonging. It also meant, which means a change in people's understanding of who they were. Before the revolution, before the rise of nationalism in Europe or India, who they were in Europe, for example, the people who they were, andre yaragidru in the European countries, in France, the people, they thought, they felt that we are, because we were belonging to the monarchy system. Now Rajarige Sedaru. Okay, understanding who they were before the revolution, before the rise of nationalism in Europe, understanding the people, understanding that who they were, they were thought we were belonging to king, we were belonging to monarchy system. The system was ruled by monarchy. The system should be ruled by monarchy. This is the people understanding before the revolution. Before the revolution, such as France, German, Italy. The France was ruled by Bourbon dynasty. German was ruled by multinational dynasties such as Habsburg dynasty, Savoy dynasty, Bourbon dynasty, Rome dynasty, and next Italy was ruled by German was ruled by Italy was ruled by Habsburg, Savoy, and Rome dynasty. Another one side, German was ruled by it was divided multinational states. Like this, the people understanding. We did not have, people understand, we would not have any freedom, and next to justice, equality. That is the people understanding of who they were and what defined their identity. Their identity and sense of belonging, their identity, it was showed through the administration of king. Namige rajane ella avande identify ellaru kuda navu aa rajana kelagidhivi. We were being controlled by the king. According to them, a sense of belonging to the king, not for the nation. I hope you have understood. It also meant that people understanding who they were and what defined their identity and sense of belonging to the king, not for the nation. New symbols in India, new symbol. National animal, national bird, national anthem, European, France, German, next Italy. What is the German national symbol or national flag? What is German national flag? Red, white. Next, last we have discussed. Just you remember new symbols and icons, which means chinnegadu. new songs, national anthem. Our national anthem is Jana Gana Mana Adinayak. Like that, and ideas of freedom, fraternity, justice, and liberty. These ideas, new symbols, icons, new songs, ideas, forged new links, and redefined the boundaries of communities. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ here before that in India, this is Mysore region. We are, according to them, we are not belonging to India. These boundaries of communities, they bounded by their community. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, next Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra. We are the Marathis. We were Marathis. We were Kannadigas. We were Telugus. We were Tamilians. Like this, before that, they were bounded by their community. But after the nationalism which had been grown in India, redefined the boundaries of their community. After the rise of nationalism in India, the freedom movement which was started by the Mahatma Gandhi and revolutionaries, when the freedom movement which was started, the boundaries redefined. All people, they thought, they felt, we are all the Indians, we are not Kannadigas. Unity in diversity, because new symbols, national bird, peacock, national animal, tiger, national rivers, river Ganga, and next, national anthem, Jana Gana Mana, national flag, saffron, white, and next green color. These national symbols and icons, new song and ideas of liberty, freedom, fraternity, justice, forged new links and redefined the boundaries of communities. We were not Kannadigas, we were not Telugus, we were not Tamilis, we are all the Indians. This feeling, it was developed over the Indians. In most countries, the making of this new national identity was a long process. How did this consciousness emerge in India? This nationalism, how did emerge in India? Let us discuss in this chapter. In India, and as in many other colonies, which means a country, it was controlled by another country as the interest of economic and politically. India is one of the colonial countries, not only for India and also Africa, as we discussed in the so many countries were colonized by European countries. India, Africa, North America, South America, next Australia. In India, and as in many other colonies, the growth of modern nationalism is intimately connected to the anti-colonial movement. How do you say that? The growth of modern nationalism is intimately ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಕಟವಾದ connected ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ ಯಾದಕ್ಕೆ anti-colonial movement. When the people anti-colonial movement which means opposite of colonial movement, that was started in India for the first time in 1857, first war of Indian independence. It was led by Mangal Pandey. ಅಂದ್ರೆ colonial ಗೆ opposite anti-colonial movement. Nationalism ಇದಕ್ಕೆ intimately connect ಆಗಿದೆ. How? Because people, when the anti-colonial movement started, people all together, ellaru seriದ್ರು. People all, irrespective of their caste, their group, their caste, their community, all the members of Indians, they got together and they struggled against the colonial ruler. That's why here, when the people all got together, a nationalism which was grown among themselves. Okay, a nationalism antakana jana yavaga ella ondadro yadra viruddhavagi against anti-colonial movement. All people, when they got together, the growth of modern this is our national flag. We have to respect our national flag. We have to respect our national freedom fighters. We have to respect our national animal, national river. Like this, modern nationalism is intimately connected to the anti-colonial movement. People began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. People began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle. So many freedom fighters with colonialism. ಅಂದ್ರೆ colonialism ನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ their struggle ಅನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೇರಿಸಿ discovering their unity. The people showed their unity irrespective of caste, community, irrespective of it would be Muslim or Hindu, all members got together and they united in the process of their struggle with colonialism. Colonialism ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದಾದ್ರು ಯಾದಕ್ಕೆ to oppose the administration of British in India. The sense of being oppressed which means under the colonialism. A sense of being oppressed ಅಂದ್ರೆ being ನಾವು ದಮನಕಾರಿ ನೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಬ್ಬಾಳಿಕೆ ಯಾರು the British oppressed under colonialism provided a shared bond that tied many different groups together. The sense of being oppressed, the people they were oppressed by British because British they were implementing many reforms for the sake of themselves ಅವರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು such as English education and next land tax system, English education, road and railways development, communication development, whatever the reformation was made by, it was exploited by the farmers, it was exploited by the people of India. For example, Raitawari, Mahalwari and Jamindar system. These three revenue systems they were being exploited by farmers. This being oppressed and next to the people they did not have freedom, fraternity and next to express their opinion. This oppressed under colonialism, the sense of being oppressed by colonialism provide a shared bond. ಅವಾಗ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿ we have to drive out the British from India to European country, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಆ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ತುಳಿತಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿದೀವಿ ಯಾರಿಂದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಅಂತ ಭಾವನೆ ಬಂತು, ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ಎ ಶೇರ್ಡ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ that tied many different groups together. Which are the different groups? Muslim, next Hindu, Christianity, Buddhist, Jainist, all the group members together. Why? Because we have to kick out the British from India according to them. Okay na? And next one is in text question. The first question is why growth of nationalism in the colonies is linked to anti-colonial movement. Just you have to answer this question. I hope you have listened carefully and properly. Why growth of nationalism in the colonies is linked to anti-colonial movement? Why growth of nationalism in the colonies which means India is linked to anti-colonial movement? Why? ಯಾಕೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಂ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಾಲೋನಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಆಂಟಿ ಕಾಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್? Here that is the answer. This is the answer. The colonial power. Just you pause it, write down the answer. Colonial power exploited the people. Colonial power which means the British power. They were in India who exploited the people of their colony in such way that began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. The people of there in such way that began discovering their unity. Our unity ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ in the process of their struggle ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ people ಯಾಕೆ ಅಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಆಂಟಿ colonialism? Because the people they were exploited by the colonial power and unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. The sense of being oppressed under colonialism proved a shared bond that tied many different groups together. Okay, when the people they started anti-colonialism, it gave opportunity to got together people. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಂಟಿ colonial movement ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರು? Radicals, next revolutionaries, and next extremists. All people got together. All people got together. This is called ಇನ್ನೇನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಆಂಟಿ ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಆಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, when they start this struggle gave an opportunity to growth of nationalism. How? Because the colonial power exploited the people. They decided to go against the British government. That's why all people in the colony in such way that began discovering their unity. Another unity yakaitu because colonial movement ge horatak start aadu. In the process of their struggle with colonialism, a sense of being oppressed under colonialism provided a shared bond that tied many different groups together. Idu yange odagi bantu? How was it provided? A shared bond that tied many different groups together because it was provided by anti-colonial movement. It was provided by anti-colonial movement. That's why when people yavaga maniyinda hora bandro, people walked out from their house, all got together. That is anti-colonial movement. It is linked to nationalism. Simple andre yavaga maniyinda hora bandro ellaru got together adru, irrespective of their groups, together adru. Yavaga hora bandu ellaru together adru, irrespective of their caste, their religion, their group. They began discovering their unity. Unity avastha aito in this anti-colonial movement. It grew nationalism. Okay, and next, but each class and groups felt that effects of colonialism differently. Each class, each castes, each group, religious groups felt that effect of colonialism differently. They felt that how many effects which made on their community, they express their effect according to their. That means ಅವರ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೊಡೆತ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Their experience were varied and their notions of freedom were not always the same. All groups, the effects of colonialism differently. Their experience were varied and their notions of freedom were not always the same. But Congress under Mahatma Gandhiji tried to force these groups together within one movement. The Congress, who is our father of India? Mahatma Gandhiji. As a result of Mahatma Gandhi's struggle movement, as a result of Mahatma Gandhi's struggles, India got freedom in 1947, August 15. Under Mahatma Gandhiji, he tried to force these groups, Muslim and Hindus, got together within one movement and they were trying to against the British government, but the unity did not emerge without conflict. Without conflict, ಇದು ಜಗಳ ಆಗದಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಯೂನಿಟಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ between Hindu and Muslim. In earlier textbook, you have read about the growth of nationalism in India up to the first decade of 20th century. Here, in the 8th standard, you have discussed when did the British come to India. The first Portuguese who came to India in 1498. Next, the Dutch 1600, the English 1602, the French 1664. Finally, British who stayed India, and they have been ruling from 1600 to 1947. And what were the incidents which took place between 1600 to 1947 to 1919? From 1600 to 1919, what were the incidents which took place between this period? You have discussed in the 8th standard. First war of Indian independence, and next the national movement of India. In earlier textbooks, you have read about the growth of nationalism in India up to the first decade of 20th century, which means 1915 tankanu nodidre ನೀವು. Here we can discuss about after 1919 to 1947. It was popularly known as the era of Gandhi. First stage, freedom movement can be classified into 3 groups. First stage, from 1885 to 1995, it was called as radicals, a age of radicals. Our radicals, they went through they were going through prayer, next practice and prayer, and next to prayer ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಮಂದಗಾಮಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, radicals. Okay, they did not want violence method. In second stage, the major leaders of radicals, Surendranath Banerjee, Mehta, so many leaders. Second stage, 1905 to 1990, the age of revolutionaries. Those are the important revolutionaries: Lal Lajpat Rai, Bala Gangadhar Tilak, and next to Bala Gangadhar Tilak, next to Bipin Chandra Pal. These were the revolutionaries such as Bhagat Singh, and next so many members. Third stage is 1919 to 1947. It was popularly known as the era of Gandhi. The era of Gandhi for the hard striving of Gandhiji, India got freedom. In this chapter, we will pick up the story from the 1920s, the study of the non-cooperation. It was led by Mahatma Gandhi. Civil disobedience. It was also popularly known as Salt Satyagraha movements. It was led by Mahatma Gandhi. We will pick up the story from 1920s and study the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movements. We will explore how the Congress sought to develop the national movement. When was Congress founded? 1885. It was started by A.O. Hume. Octavian Hume. It was started by Octavian Hume in 1885. The first president of Indian National Congress was W.C. Banerjee in 1885. The first presidents of W.C. Banerjee. Next, Congress. It was major role. Congress played major role to the development of nationalism and towards the freedom movement. Next, how different social groups participated in this movement. Which were the social groups? Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Yahudi, Sikh, Parsi, all members participated in this movement. How nationalism captured the imagination of people. Nationalism andre enu? It is not like European nationalism. Captured in the imagination of the people. Okay, let us discuss. Next, first concept name is the First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. Okay, you have to understand. You need to understand the first World War, which took place from 1914 to 1918, which took place between two powers. The first one power is triple entity. Next one is triple alliance. Triple entity which belonged to France, England, America, Russia. Triple alliance which belonged to German, Italy, Austria, Hungary. Like this, the first World War which took place between two blocks. This is first World War. Finally, which bloc won this war? France, England, and next Russia. Who were the owner of the first World War? Next, Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. Both were going in the same way, parallel. ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ Khilafat it was led by Muslim community. Non-cooperation was led by Hindu community. It was led by Mahatma Gandhi. Khilafat, Muslim communities leaders. Both are Khilafat and non-cooperation were going parallelly. Okay. In the year after 1919, we see the national movement spreading to new areas. Before 1919, the nationalism movement, it was not spread in South India, in Kerala, next Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. After the 1919, we see the nationalism movement spreading to new areas. It was spread by in this area. Which area? In this area, Maharashtra area. It was spread by Bala Gangadhar Tilak. And next year, this was spread by Annie Besant. Movement spreading new areas, incorporating new social groups. After 1919, the Khilafat movement, it was started by Muslim community. This new community, these new social groups, incorporating means adakke samojisalayitu and developing new modes of struggle. Here before 1919, before 1919, there was a revolutionaries, radicals, that is a separate modes of struggle. Or revolutionaries, always they were going the path of violence method. They used bombs and guns for the sake of nation, such as Bhagat Singh, Lala Lajpat Rao. But and radicals, they were going through prayer. But after 1919, the new leader who came to India is named Mahatma Gandhi ji, developing new modes. Which was the new mode? Non-violence, agitation, satyagraha, okay, struggle for satya, struggle for truth, new modes of struggle. It was called as new modes of struggle. New modes of struggle, which means non-violence, satyagraha, agitation, and haratala. Okay. Next, how do we understand these developments? What implications did they have? These are all let us discuss. And next, first of all, the war created a new economic and political situation. One question, what were the impacts of First World War on India? Or what were the effects of First World War on India? There are two effects, couple of the things which shall be discussed in this class. First one effect is new economically it was vanished. In the Indian economic situation vanished and political situation was changed. How? Because India was a colonial country. It was colonized by the Britain. That's why India had to support Britain in the First World War. India had to support to England in the First World War. That's why economically India had to support military to England. India had to support armies to England. India had to support gun and weapons to England. That's why the new economic system, it was vanished, it was demolished, it was finished, it was destroyed by the First World War. And political situation also, it was changed. When the First World War which happened, what were the economic changes in the First World War due to the First World War? What were the economic changes due to the First World War? Understand carefully, look at the board. It led to huge increase. The first point is, it led to huge increase in defense expenditure, which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. First point, it's very important question for your examination. It may be asked in your examination 3 or 5 marks question. Okay, listen carefully students, listen carefully. First, what was the economic situation? It was changed by the First World War. First one is, it led to a huge increase in defense expenditure. It led to, First World War led to huge increase in defense expenditure. Why? Because the India had to support England for supporting of defense. India had to support the defense to the England. This supporting, for the supporting of this defense expenditure was increased of defense expenditure ಆಯಿತು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. It was beared by India, not England. ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಭರಿಸಬೇಕಾಯಿತು? India. ಓಕೆನಾ? It was expanded by only India. That's why India imposed new taxes, which was financed by war loans and increased taxes. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ನ ಬಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ವಾರ್ ಲೋನ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. First economic situation. What was the economic changes due to the First World War? It led to a huge increase in defense expenditure, which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. First situation. What was the first situation? I hope you have understood. It led to a huge increase defense expenditure, which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. Next, second point is customs, duties, taxes were raised. Why? Because financed by war loans or defense expenditure. because India had to support England. India had to support defense to England. India had to support naval, air force, guns, weapons, next ships. So many Indian armies, they went to support England, and they went behalf of England. They were struggling against the German in the state of Africa. Africadalla kuda India's armies iddu. That's why this defense expenditure, this defense andre namma ಒಂದು defense ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಯಾವುದು defense, there are three types of defense. The first one is land army, second one is air army, third one is land, water and naval and air. These three defenses, all these three persons were struggling behalf of England, because India was colonized by England. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಟು ಯು, ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಸೆ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ England, support to England. That's why as a result of supporting to England in the first world war led to a huge increase in defense expenditure, which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. Custom duties were raised, income tax introduced. Those income was high, they wanted to pay income tax. New income tax, it was introduced. That is the third result of First World War. And next, through the war years, prices increased. The war years doubling between 1913 and 1918, leading extreme hardship for the common people. Through the war years 1913 and 1918, prices increased. Daily needy commodities such as salt, sugar, rice and next jowar, maize, these are all the prices were increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918, leading extreme hardship andre for the common people, which means for the common people they were extreme hardshipping andre samanya janarige, because they could not able to get commodities, they could not able to get daily needs, daily products, because the prices increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918, leading extreme hardship for the common people. The First World War, which was majorly affected on the common people. Next, then in 1918, 1919 and 1920, 1921, crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in acute shortage of food. Okay, why was shortages of food which occurred? Because crops failed in many parts of India. 1918, 1919. Why was crops failed? Because of the famines, baragala, epidemics. Okay, let us discuss. Then in 1918, 19 and 1920, 21, crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in acute shortage of food. Why was shortage of food happened? Crops, due to the failing of crops. These were accompanied by an influenza epidemic. This was accompanied together andre adara joteli mattondu ಏನು ಬಂತು, by an influenza epidemic, which means here you can see the coronavirus. That's why the all school was closed. They have not been resumed yet because of the coronavirus. That is called as epidemic disease. Coronavirus is called as epidemic disease. Here there was an economic system, it was vanished by the coronavirus. And next, so many teachers, schools have been closed since March 15. Okay, school has not been opened due to the coronavirus. It destroyed the economic system. It is destroying the economic system. Okay, like this. Here also in the similar way, in 1919 there was a virus which name plague virus. Plague andre ilinda, it is derived from rat, ilinda barta ittu. ಪ್ಲೇಗ್. ಅವಾಗ ಮನುಷ್ಯರನ್ನ ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ 4 ಜನ ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಪ್ಲೇಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್. ಪ್ಲೇಗ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಅವಾಗ ಸತ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಕೂಡಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಪಿಡೆಮಿಕ್, influenza epidemic, the plague, it destroyed the Indian economy in 1921. According to the census of 1921, 12 to 13 million people perished as a result of famines and the epidemic. Famines andre ಬರಗಾಲದಿಂದ. Due to the drought situation of drought, there was no rainfall. The people could not grow any crops because of the famines, because of the drought. That's why 12 to 13 million of people perished, people destroyed as the result of famines and epidemic disease of plague. Okay, na? This is the economic situation of First World War. Okay, what were the economic situation of First World War? First World War led to a huge increase in defense expenditure, which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. Customs duties were raised, income tax introduced, and next through the war years prices increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918, leading a long extreme hardship for the common people. 1918, 1919 and 1920-21 crops failed in many regions parts of India. Next, shortage of food, that is one of the point. Shortage of food, crops failed in many parts of India, that is also one of the point. And shortage of food, this was accompanied by an influenza epidemic. This is one of the point. Okay. And next, according to the census of 1921, 12 to 13 million people perished, destroyed as a result of famines and epidemic. This is the situation, economic situation of India during the First World War. Okay. And next, political situation. What was the political situation of India in the First World War? During first political situation, villagers were called upon to supply soldiers, and the forced recruitment in rural areas caused widespread anger against the British. This which way to development of nationalism Indians, because they anger andre Britishರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ against the British, they angered against the British. Why? Forced recruitment, it was done by British. What is forced recruitment? Because a process by which the colonial state forced people to join the army. Force agi army ge join ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. Okay, because the people, they want to come very lowest wages. They wanted, means they only reached Subedar post. Okay, they did not have higher post, A, B, C, D. The soldiers, they reached only Subedar, D post. Okay, and also they were having lowest salary. In this situation, forced recruitment, because the people who are coming very lowest wages. Villages were called upon to supply soldiers, and the forced recruitment in rural areas caused widespread anger. Okay, ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು? ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ recruited by British. All the villages were called upon to supply soldiers. They wanted to supply more soldiers, because all soldiers, they had to struggle behalf of the British against the opposite bloc. They wanted more soldiers for lowest wages. Here we can recognize their selfishness. It was developing in the First World War. Okay, villages were called upon to supply soldiers, and the forced recruitment in rural areas caused widespread anger. People hoped that their hardship would not end the First World War was over. People hoped that their hardship would end after the First World War over. The people, ಜನರು ಏನಿದ್ರು ಹೋಪ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ. After the World War, India, means right, the British who will ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಜನ ಭಾವನೆ ಇತ್ತು. ದೇರ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ವುಡ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಓವರ್, ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಇದಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. At this stage, new leader appeared and struggled a new mode of struggle. New leader appeared, was popularly known as Mahatma Gandhi. New leader appeared and suggested a new mode of struggle. He started new mode of struggle. Which mode? Non-violence method, satyagraha, and next agitation, horata. By this way, Mahatma Gandhi, who succeeded to gain the freedom from the British. Okay, and next, in text, second question: how the First World War helped in the growth of national movements in India? Helped in the growth of national movement in India. Here, this question answer you have to write the notes. Okay, just you pass it and you write the notes. First, second in text question, how the first, I have told two question. First one question, that is, what was the first one question? First one question is, the growth, why growth of nationalism in the colonies is linked to anti-colonial movement? Because the colonial power exploited the people of their colony in such way that began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. The sense of being oppressed under colonialism proved a shared bond that tied many different groups together. And next, second question, I am telling the second question, how the in text question, how the First World War helped in the growth of national movement in India. Just you think about how the First World War helped in the growth of national movement in India. Okay, now due to the First World War, all incident which was happened due to the First World War. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್? Increased defense expenditure, custom duties were raised, income tax introduced. Through the war, prices increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918, leading extreme hardship for the common people. And next one is, crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in occurred shortage of food. Next, accompanied by an influenza epidemic, and 12 to 13 million people perished as a result of famines and the epidemic. And next, forced recruitment in rural areas caused widespread hunger against the British administration by the Indians. This ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಯಾರಿಂದ ಆಗಿದ್ದು? ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್. ಆ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಸಂಬಂಧ? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಇಂದ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್. ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಮೇನ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಯಾರು? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್. First World War helped indirectly. You have to understand. This is analyzing question. You have to understand very carefully how the First World War helped in the growth of nationalism in India. How the First World War helped in the growth of nationalism in India. How? Simple. You have to understand very carefully. What were the effects of First World War? Due to the effects of First World War, the people, they wanted to decide. We have to protest against the British. ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ದಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ದೇ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದಾದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಂ ಬೆಳೀತು. ದೆನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿಸಂ ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಅಪ್, when the nationalism grown up, people started protest against the British. Okay, now as a result of First World War, the growth of national movement started in India. Okay, now how the First World War helped in the growth of national movement in India? The first point is a huge increase in defense expenditure which was financed by war loans and increasing taxes. Second point, custom duties were raised. Third point, income tax introduced. Fourth point, prices increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918. Next point, leading extreme hardship for the common people. Sixth point, crops failed in many parts of India. 7 point, occurred shortage of food. 8 point, influenza epidemic accompanied by an influenza epidemic. 9 point, point number 9, 12 to 13 million of people perished as a result of famines and epidemic. 10th. Next, 11th point, forced recruitment. Villages were called upon to soldiers, supply of soldiers, and the forced recruitment it was going. All these reasons, all these economic and political situation, all these it was changed as a result of all these which were happened by the First World War. People hungered against the British. Why did they hunger? Because they were supporting the British. All these problems were made by British. That's why you have to they decided to unite among themselves. Indirectly, the First World War helped in the growth of national movement in India. This is very simple. Okay. I hope you have understood what we have discussed in this class. The first one is the introductory part, and next one is First War of First World War, which helped the growth of nationalism in India. Okay. I hope you have understood. What are the reasons? You just write the notes. Okay. 2 questions have been given by me. You have to write those 2 questions. Okay. Thank you. Students, if you have any doubt, let me ask. I will clarify your doubt. Okay. Whenever you guys, you have to ask me. Okay. Thank you.